Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. We're looking at another flashlight today from FitTorch, and this is the M30R. As you can see, this is what they're calling their one-step tactical action flashlight. It definitely has a tactical look. It has strobe features which are easily accessed, so if you need something that's going to be disorienting to somebody out there in the distance, this could be a light you want to check out. Also, you can see here you can charge devices off of the power in the battery in the light, which more and more flashlight companies are doing. I just think that's great because it gives you not just the function of using the flashlight, but then you're like, oh, my smartphone is dying. I can charge it up using the power in the battery in the flashlight. I just think that's cool to have multiple uses. So let me talk through some of the details of this light, and then we'll take it out into the night and use it. So here's a quick look at the light, and I'll give you kind of a look at both sides of it. So there's one side. That's where you're going to plug in your USB to charge. There's your other side. There's the bezel there. You can see pretty aggressive on the front. Let's see if that pops off. Nope, doesn't twist off. And then you can see your end pressure switch. So you do have an end pressure switch and then a side selector as well. One of the first features you're going to see on the back are these three little lock and unlock symbols. So it's locked, unlocked in the middle, and then locked again. When you put on unlock in the middle, these two little pressure tabs is what you're going to press to go to strobe. So here's a strobe warning, and here comes a strobe. And then you can press the other side as well. So the idea is easy, quick access to strobe, and then you have the end pressure switch to actually turn the light on. So I'll talk through, the different lumen outputs and such, but that's one of the key features from this this light is that you have quick, easy access to that. And then when you put it on lock mode, I can't press these basically these two little kind of paddles to get the strobe to go on. But when I put it in that middle unlocked option, now I can get the strobe light to come on very easily. In addition to the flashlight, you'll get the instructions. You'll get the holster to carry the light in, included USB cord for charging. You get a lanyard with the light, and then you're going to get this micro USB adapter which you plug into the light, and then you're going to plug your USB into this to charge items off of the light. Here's a look at the flashlight in the actual holster. It does have a snap on the back, so you can put it onto your belt quite easily, and then it also has a sewn loop here so that you can just run your belt through that as well. And you can see, fits fine. Not a ton of extra room in it, but fits just about how I would want a holster to fit a flashlight. I don't use a holster very often for a flashlight, so not a huge deal for me, but that's what it actually looks like. Let me also mention that it does come with an included 18650 battery. Let's talk through the lumen output, and then we're going to head into the night and use this thing. So you have your low, which is 20 lumens. That's going to run for 146 hours. You have your medium for 130 lumens. That's going to run for 13 hours. Your high, 460 lumens. That's for 3.5 hours. And then your turbo, which is 1800 lumens, and that's going to run for 40 minutes. It also has a strobe at 1800 lumens and an SOS at 460 lumens. It is IPX8 rated and impact resistant to 2 meters. Okay, it's nighttime, and we're going to show you how this works. Let me show you the function as far as the different buttons. You can see you have that center pressure switch and then the two paddles. So press the center switch. It's going to give you momentary on, then you can click that in and it'll stay on. And then the paddles are going to go to strobe. So strobe warning here, so strobe there, and then strobe on the other side as well. And we'll show you what that looks like in a minute, like more specifically, so you can actually see what the output is. And then we also have this side selector switch, so when you tap that, the light is going to come on, as you can see. Tap it again, it's going to scroll, this is down, scroll up to the highest, and then it's going to work its way back down again, and then hold it down, and it's going to go off. So relatively simple. This for your basically your 4 different settings, and this for your 1800 lumen output immediately. All right, so first test we're going to do here is with the strobe. This is 1800 lumens. I'm in my house. I'm looking at the door, which is about 20 feet away, just to give you a sense of what the strobe looks like on the using it inside. So here we go with the strobe. So strobe warning. And so I've clicked that, I've let go, and it's still flashing. Let me click it again, and it's going to go off. So again, tap it on and off, tap it, and then if you tap it and hold it, it's going to actually click in, and then you hit it again, and it goes off. Let me try the other paddle just to make sure that there's no difference. So we've got strobe, tap it, and then hold it down for a second, and now the strobe stays on, and now here it is going off. All right, so now I'm just going to use the end pressure switch, which will go on the 1800 lumen setting. It's not going to be a strobe setting, it's just going to be normal. So I'll press this just momentary to show you what it looks like coming on. Definitely washes out the camera, momentary again, and now I'll click it in here, and the camera will adjust a little bit. But I mean, yeah, absolutely no doubt you can see everything in the area here. And I don't know if you can pick it up on camera, it's a little hard to see, but you can definitely see the hot center and then your first ring and then a little bit of a kind of a lighter second ring out on the edge. So again, I don't call those artifacts, but you can definitely see where the reflector and you know how the reflector is showing itself in the actual illumination of the light. Okay, we're going to use the side selector switch now. This is going to come on at 20. So there's 20 lumens. We're going to tap it again. It's going to go up to 130. Tap it again, that's up to 460. And then tap it again, and that's back up to the 800. And again, this is similar to the other fit torches that when I tap it again, it's going to drop down. It's not going to go back to the lowest setting. It's going to work its way back down. So again, this is 460 and then down to 130 and then down to 20, and then we'll work our way back up again. 2, 3, and then this is your highest setting. Then if you hold it down, it'll just go off, and that's that. So another feature I want to mention here is using the side switch. If you double tap it, it's going to go to strobe, and then if you double tap it again, it's going to go to SOS. So strobe warning here, we're going to go to strobe using again the side switch. So double tap, strobe, and then double tap again, and it's going into the SOS setting. That's what that looks like. Okay, we're looking at our two cars here. They're about 20 feet away on the driveway. Let me just put it on at the highest setting. So this is the 1800 lumens, and I'm using the end pressure switch. So that's what it looks like. Comes on, and I'm up close, so you can't see, you know, what the flood looks like. I would say it's decent at this point. So when we back up, we'll get a little better sense. I'll turn this off here, and now we're going to use the side switch and go through all the different outputs. So that's the 20 lumen output up to 130. To 460, and then up to the 1800, and then it'll scroll back down here, and then all the way down to the lowest. All right, let me back up now and try again. Okay, we're back about 50 feet away from my car now, and let's turn it on the highest setting. So here's 1800, and you can see that definitely lights up the car, and I can see most of the driveway. I would say about 80%, 75% of the driveway, and then up toward my house, obviously, as well. And then we'll go to strobe here, so strobe warning, just so you can see that outside. That's what that looks like. Turn that off, and now let's go through the different outputs using the side switch again. So there's 20, you can see a little reflection, 130, 460, and then here's 18, and then back down all the way to 20. So now we're looking up my side yard here, and yeah, I mean, this thing seems much more like a thrower than it does like, you know, you're not getting a flood out of this. So let me walk up the side here just to show you a little bit more. Yeah, so absolutely, as I'm looking here, I'm going to call this thing a thrower, and certainly it's got the tactical feature when you go to the strobe, which I'll do now. And you can see you do have a slight kind of mix-up as far as the how the strobe works. It's not just one straight repetition. It kind of changes the pattern. So yeah, I mean, this thing is definitely throwing. As far as charging up the battery that's in the actual flashlight, I've got the micro USB plugged into the side. Put that down, plug this in, and you'll see on the side. So that'll flash if it's charging, and since this is now fully charged, that'll remain steady. So that's just to let you know that the light is ready to use. All right, let's talk about using the light to charge up an item. So this is a little Bluetooth speaker. You can see I've just got the micro USB plugged into the side, and then over here I've got this part plugged into the adapter, and now I'm going to plug this into the actual light. And you'll see when I do, on the side where it says, where is it? I think it's on the other side. Oh, there it is. Where it says LED right there, that's going to light up, showing you that this thing is now charging up. All right, so we're going to plug this in here. A little bit hard to do one-handed, but I think that's good. And now this guy, you can see that's now charging up the Bluetooth speaker I've got here. So that's basically how you do it. You just have to have that little gray adapter there, and then plug in your USB. And you could certainly have an iPhone cord to charge up your iPhone or whatever you want, but right now I'm charging up the the Bluetooth speaker, and as you can see, that's working. All right, let's wrap up here and offer some final thoughts on the FitTorch M30R. So one of the first things I'll say is that this is definitely geared to be a tactical flashlight with a focus, I would say, on the strobe feature. So if you're looking for something that's strobe, this may be something to check out. If you're not interested in strobe at all, then this may have features that you just don't need. Definitely a nice variety of outputs all the way up to 1800 lumens. I like that you have the end pressure switch and then also a side selector switch as well. The size and the weight for me are fine when it comes to a tactical light. This is about the size I'm thinking. I would keep this in a bag or in a car. This is not something I'm going to EDC every day. More and more companies are pressing into that idea of not only can you charge the battery with a USB, but also that you can charge items off of the battery that's in the light. So I think that's cool. I will note to you, be careful, don't lose this thing, because without that you can't charge items off of the light. So yeah, I mean, just something to keep in mind. In the future, you're going to see more and more companies integrating this feature into the actual cord for charging, and so you won't have to carry multiple things around. I like that they give you this little key ring so you don't lose it though. That's cool. FitTorch is still a new company for me, so I use the other ones a bit. I'm gonna actually keep this like in a kitchen drawer to use when I go out at night and things like that. Take the compost out, take the garbage out, take the dogs out, and that'll give you a better sense of how it holds up to wear and tear. So I'm gonna keep it in a place where it's probably gonna get beat up and dropped and other things like that. We'll see how it actually holds up. So up to this point, it's worked really well, but I'll report in over the next probably months to let you know how it handles just everyday use and testing as I continue to use it more and more. The overall construction is quite good. I'd like to see this end selector click in a little bit more firmly. It doesn't click in the way I would like to say, okay, it's definitely locked or unlocked, but not a huge issue. I'd just like to see them improve that in the future. Maybe have a removable bezel. I'd keep it on, but some people might want to take that off, so that's something else for them to think about in the future. So when I got my hands on the first couple FitTorch flashlights that I reviewed, I was like, yeah, I'm interested, I'll check it out. I've moved beyond interested to like, I'm pretty intrigued. I'd like to see what else they're gonna bring to the table soon. I'd like to see them continue to press into innovation and try new things, but if they reach out to me again and say, hey, we've got some other lights that we wanna have you review, I will probably be saying yes, just because another new company to check out. I wanna say thank you to FitTorch for sponsoring this video and making it possible. You can see the morning commute is starting to happen here behind me, so I'm going to wrap up here. Thanks as always for watching the videos here on YouTube. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Check us out on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, and Bureau as well. More videos coming soon. Take care.